I look forward to attending the Summit on Sustainability every year, and apparently so do you. I mean, just look around this room. This event continues to grow year over year, which is fantastic, because it means that more and more people are interested in learning about sustainability and how they can incorporate initiatives into their own communities. It's always exciting to sit in a presentation and listen to an expert in the field, someone who has dedicated their career to studying sustainability, developing cutting-edge technologies that they can share with other people. I can tell you right now, this is not that presentation. I am not an expert in sustainability. In fact, my idea, until a few years ago, of creating a cleaner, greener Gahanna was putting the basil plants I kill every summer into a yard waste bag to contribute to composting. But when I think about my background and my experiences, it really isn't surprising that sustainability was not really a focus as I was a child growing up. I grew up in the South Hills of Pittsburgh in a borough called West Mifflin, next to Homestead, PA. Today, West Mifflin is largely known as the home of Kennywood Park, one of the nation's largest and oldest amusement parks. And the largest development in Homestead is a place called the Waterfront, which sits along the banks of the Monongahela River and is a destination regionally for shopping and dining. But as a kid, the site of the Waterfront was the home for U.S. Steel. Mills were the largest employers in the community. They were the economic drivers of the region. And I can remember riding with my aunt when she picked my uncle up from his midnight shift at the mill, seeing the plumes of smoke and flames rising into the night sky. The home where I grew up was across the street from a slag dump, slag being the byproduct from the steel mills. On summer evenings, my dad and I would sit on the front porch and watch the trains dump the hot slag down the hillside, effectively building that dump day by day. Again, no wonder sustainability was not a topic of conversation around our dinner table. And that continued as an adult, because I don't even want to think about the number of law books that gave their lives for those books I carried to class each and every day for 3 years. Pretty sure I was laughing in this picture because I was just happy I wasn't going to have to carry them anymore. After law school graduation, I moved to Ohio to begin a law career, met a guy, fell in love, got married. Sustainability wasn't my top 3 priorities. But when it was time for my husband and I to start a family, we chose Gahanna as the place we wanted to call home. It was a city that offered everything we were looking for: scenic neighborhoods, beautiful parks, waterways that course through the downtown, in addition to great schools and an ideal location. As we were raising our daughters, we found that we really enjoyed being in the community, enjoying the parks and the playgrounds, illegally feeding the ducks at Creekside, attending community events, but then volunteering and really growing a healthy respect and appreciation for the legacy that is Gahanna. It was through that involvement in the community that I made my decision to step away from practicing law and take on the role as executive director of Visit Gahanna, where I became responsible for promoting all that Gahanna has to offer: 750 plus acres of parkland, 20 plus miles of trails, paddle boating down the Big Walnut Creek. And it was then that I became even more attuned to the importance of preserving those natural resources. In January of 2020, I was honored to be sworn in as mayor of the city of Gahanna. And I immediately became caretaker, not just for those natural resources, but for the 35,000 plus people who also call Gahanna home. Ensuring that they have a safe, healthy, and sustainable community became the priority. Gahanna has a rich history in sustainability in the Central Ohio area, as we were one of the first cities to be certified as a Sustainable 2050 member back in 2017 when the program launched. Earlier this year, we were both thrilled and proud to again be recertified, this time as a Gold Plus Equity Champion. As we were going through the certification process, we realized that many of the programs we were doing were moving Gahanna along our path to sustainability. Upgrading and adding to our EV charging stations, incorporating electric vehicles into our city fleets, launching a food composting program, and expanding recycling opportunities throughout our city. But we also found ways to empower and engage our residents through programs and activities that created opportunities for them to connect with the environment. Whether we're cleaning the creek or planting trees with school students or promoting pumpkin composting, we're celebrating and protecting our resources, and we're encouraging our residents to do the same. On a wider scale, we continue to look for ways to make sustainability initiatives easy and accessible for everyone in our community. One of the ways we've done that is through Gahanna Energy Plus, a community energy aggregation program that gives all residents access to affordable, clean energy options. And as a city, we're trying to lead the way with our residents through what is our biggest project, the new Gahanna Civic Center, which will be the home for Gahanna Police and the Senior Center and City Hall operations. Rather than build new, we took and purchased an existing building and repurposed it, reducing waste in the process and incorporating green technologies for the future. But I've come to realize through my own journey that sustainability is about so much more than these programs and projects. As leaders, we must work together to design and build resilient communities, creating mobility options that provide accessibility for all, adding diverse and affordable housing options, investing in aging infrastructure, and ensuring that we have clean and abundant water for generations to come. How can we collectively ensure that the region we are creating together is resilient and sustainable for the future? We talk a lot about carbon footprints. Footprints are messy. Think about it. They ruin everything. Think about when you track mud through the house. We all recognize that the larger footprint that you leave, the more and heavier strain we put on the environment. Maybe instead we think about handprints. Hands build, they fix. Parents cherish the handprints that their children leave. We celebrate the contributions of artists by putting their handprints along sidewalks throughout Hollywood. They leave a legacy, something that we want to remember. So I will ask you, as you leave here today, and you think about what you want to do you want to leave a footprint, or do you want to leave a handprint? So let's work together as leaders in our own communities to make sure that we are leaving handprints and not footprints here in the Mid-Ohio region for future generations. Thank you very much.